Yes, students. So we were discussing about the overheads. Now we will get into under or over absorption of overheads. First of all, sir, when do we get under or over absorption of overhead? At what situation? Guys, whenever the company is following predetermined overhead rate to observe the overheads. Whenever the company is following predetermined overhead rate to observe the overheads. First of all, what is predetermined overhead rate? This will be decided at the beginning or at the end? Beginning, sir. So this will be used to observe the overheads throughout the year. Assume guys, we have got the predetermined overhead rate as 25 rupees as and per unit. As and when we work each and every unit, we keep on observing how much? 25 rupees. At the end of the year, can I calculate what is the total overhead observed? Yes, sir. How is that? 25 rupees into total number of units produced. Clear? We will get what? Overhead observed. But will it be exactly equal to overhead incurred, sir? May not be. Very rarely it will coincide, but majority of the cases it will not. Okay, sir. So that means there will be a difference between actual overhead and overhead absorbed, sir? Yes. That difference is called under absorption or over absorption. Amir Khan, what do we call it as? Only over. Huh? Over absorption. Sir, when is it called under absorption? Guys, when overhead absorbed is less than overhead incurred, we call it as under absorption. When overhead absorbed is more than overhead incurred, it is called over absorption. It is called over absorption. Now, whatever we will be discussing is, sir, how do we calculate this under absorption or over absorption? And what do we do with it? How do we treat it in our cost accounts? Clear? For that, we have to figure out why there is under absorption or over absorption. Is it due to normal reason or is it due to abnormal reason? If it is due to abnormal reason, common dialogue, what is it? Send it to costing P&L account. Send it to costing P&L. Every chapter, same story. Any loss due to abnormal reason, send it to costing P&L. Clear? Or any gain also due to abnormal reason, send it to costing P&L account. Loss means debit, gain means credit. Where? Costing P&L. Common dialogue. If it is due to normal reasons, what we should do? We should adjust it with the cost. So that is what we will be learning now, guys. So after this, you have space here. Na? Just write one dialogue there. In the previous page, yesterday we had covered this. Correct, na? I only did. Nikhil, yesterday I covered this. Okay, don't worry, don't mind. Right. It will lead to. It will lead to. Hey, Amir Khan. Right. Page number 8 wrong. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಳೆದೋಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ 53. Page number 53.2 under that. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೋ ಬರ್ದಿ ಏನೇನೋ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು. It will lead to under absorption or over absorption of overheads. It will lead to under absorption or over absorption of overhead. Yeah. Shall we now get into under and over absorption? Yes. Chalo. Over expenditure are usually applied to production on the basis of predetermined rates. What is that? We already covered. Just now I touched that also. The predetermined rates may represent estimated, actual or normal cost. Means this I would have estimated and calculated it. The actual overhead rate will rarely coincide with predetermined overhead rate due to variation in predetermined overhead rate and actual overhead rate. Some difference is inevitable. Means there will be some difference, guys. Clear? Because I may not be like God to exactly pinpoint and tell at the beginning of the year only what exactly I will incur. Yeah, by the end of the year, what I would have incurred, it would be some difference. See, sir, can it exactly match? Yes, rare chances it can match. In that case, there is no under absorption, there is no over absorption. Will they ask such kind of question in the exam? No. Wait, what you will do? Correct. Yes. So if at all if the question is there on this absorption or under absorption, over absorption, definitely it will be there. Either under or over. Sir, can both work simultaneously? No. Either under or over, guys. When the overhead observed amount is less than actual amount is called under absorption. So when you observed less, what do you call it as? Under absorption. Similarly, when the observed amount is more than actual amount, it is called over absorption. Such over or under absorption as arrived at under different situation may also be termed as overhead variance. But here we don't use nothing but variance only, but still we will not use the word variance. We call it as under absorption or over absorption. Sir, can I call it by variance also? Yes, nothing wrong. The amount of, because even in variance calculation, guys, cost control, correct? What we used to do, set a standard, then actual calculation you do, compare actual with standard, whatever is the difference, you call it as what? Variance. If it is favor, means, sir, if actual is less than standard, we call it as favorable. If actual is more than standard, we call it as unfavorable. Variance, there we found out what difference between actual and standard. Here also we are finding out the difference, and we call it as not variance, under absorption or over absorption. It is nothing like the variances. It's similar to that. Okay. The amount of over absorption being represented by a credit balance in accounts and amount of under absorption is a debit balance. Guys, let me explain this because all this conceptually you should be very good. Clear? Now I don't want you guys to mug up or buy up. This means this balance, that means that balance. So under absorption will have what balance? Here only I have given a what balance? Debit balance. Whereas over absorption will have credit balance. Sir, how can you tell it? How can you tell it? Let me explain with an example. Guys, listen here. See, I have already passed the entry for overhead absorbed. I will be keep on passing it throughout the year regularly. Clear? Assume I have already passed throughout the year. I have already passed for how much? Let me take it as 10 lakh. 10 lakh. Overhead observed is how much, guys? 10 lakh. This is normally throughout the year, not on a single day. Because production will be happening throughout the year. Yes, as and when I produce and sell, I will be debiting either for cost or cost of sales. How much? Whatever overhead I observe. Whatever overhead I observe. So what is the entry? Cost account or cost of sales account to overhead account. Correct? This is for absorption. Now for incurred, normally I will get to know at the end of the year, this is what I have incurred. What is the entry I will pass? Overhead account debit to cash or bank. Assume guys, let me just give an example. 12 lakh is this expenditure. 12 lakh is this expenditure. Incurred is more, observed is less. So what do we call it as? Under absorption. How much? 2 lakh. Correct? Respond. 2 lakh is the under absorption. Yes, sir. Now, guys, come on, tell me. Here I have debited overhead with 2 lakh. Sorry, 12 lakh. Here I have credited with 10 lakh. What is the net balance? 2 lakh. What balance? Huh? What balance? 2 lakh debit balance. Clear? Any confusion? Understood? Hello. We are having overhead what balance? 2 lakh debit balance. Clear? Because I have debited 12 lakh here. I have already credited 10 lakh here. What is the net balance? 2 lakh. Okay, forget about it. Let us go to accounts. Sir, overhead. What is this, sir? Everything new for me. I am an accountant, chartered accountant student. Teach me from accounts point of view. Guys, come on. Whenever you have incurred any expenditure, what is the entry you will pass? Expenditure account debit. Expenses account debit. To cash or bank. Assume you have incurred 5 lakh. You have incurred 5 lakh. This is the entry for passage. Yes. Now expenses is having what balance? Debit balance. What do you do at the end of the year? Transfer it to P&L account. Yes. Or trading. Okay. Trading or P&L account. What is the entry for it? P&L account debit to to expense to expenses accounts to expenses accounts. Okay, how much? Assume 5 lakh. Normally we transfer the same amount. Is that clear? Yes. Sir, no, sir. Out of what I have paid. Now different story. Normally, whatever I have incurred, if it is for on accrual basis, I will transfer it to P&L account. Now expense account got closed. Now, no, sir. The story is different, sir. What I have incurred, I have paid full 5 lakh. But what I have incurred during the year is only 4 lakhs, sir. That means 1 lakh is prepaid. Huh? Yes. What do I do? What do I do? I will transfer to P&L account how much only? 4 lakh. Only 4 lakh. Now tell me, what is the expense account balance? 1 lakh. Debit, huh? Yes. Will we show it as an asset in the balance sheet? Yes. Will we show it as an asset in the balance sheet? Yes. Or else you will transfer 1 lakh, whatever net debit balance is there, you will transfer it to prepaid. Clear? Prepaid expenses to expense. Now expense got closed fully. 1 lakh. Clear? Now prepaid expenses is having a debit balance of 1 lakh. Where do you show it? In the balance sheet as asset. Next year you will close because this is the next year expenses. Correct, guys? Same way. Sir, what if it is outstanding expenses? For example, I had incurred 7 lakh, but I have paid only 5 lakh. I have incurred 7 lakh, but paid only 5 lakh. So expenses entry I would have already booked. Sir, how much I have to transfer to P&L account, sir? 7 lakh, I have to transfer to P&L account 7 lakh because I have incurred. But what I have paid is only 5 lakh. Remaining 2 lakh is what? Outstanding. Outstanding. So now I will transfer expenses to expense outstanding. How much, sir? 2 lakh, 2 lakh. Expenses to expense outstanding, 2 lakh. Now expense outstanding is having credit balance. We will show it as a liability in the balance sheet. Clear? And when it is adjustments and all, you will play around with plus minus also. I am not talking about it. I want you to understand the journal entries. That is why I am explaining this. Got it, no guys? Whatever I incur, I will first debit it. Then when I am transferring it, as it is an expenses, I will transfer it on the debit side of P&L account. Entry would be P&L to expenses. Fine. Now let us come back. Now let us come back. Sir, I have incurred 12 lakh. That is, I have paid 12 lakh. Year outstanding and all will not come. Don't worry. Clear? Yes. I just explained so that you will have overall idea in accounts point of view. Now, overhead I have incurred 12 lakh. But how much I have observed? 10 lakh. Sir, for observed, what is the entry I would have passed? Observed means what? I have charged it for cost. I have charged it for cost. What is the entry I would have passed? Cost or cost of sales to overhead. When I incur it, will I pay it? Yes. Assume whatever you have incurred, paid. What is the entry? Overhead account debit to cash or bank. Cash or bank. Now, sir, check the overheads. How much debit? How much credit? Credit is 10, debit is 12. That means net debit balance is how much? 2. What do we call it as? Under absorption. Because I have incurred 12, but I have observed only 10. I have observed only 10 lakh. It is like you have transferred 2 lakh less to the P&L account. Clear? You have incurred 10 lakh. Sorry, incurred 12 lakh. But you have paid, you have transferred to P&L account only 10 lakh. Okay, I'm just telling you comparison. Okay, sir. That means I have charged 2 lakh less to my cost. I have charged 2 lakh less to my cost. Yes. What should I do with it, sir? What should I do with it? Now you need to find the reason for it. Now you need to find the reason for it. Sir, 2 lakh is due to what, sir? 2 lakh is due to what, sir? Normal reasons are abnormal reasons. If it is due to abnormal reasons, straight away transfer it to costing P&L account. Costing P&L account. Oh, guys, assume in this 2 lakh, 80% is due to abnormal reason. 80% is due to abnormal reason. Now, under absorption or overhead is having what balance? See, this 2 lakh, whatever overhead debit balance is there, can I transfer it to under absorption account now? Yes. How is it the entry, sir? Under absorption to overhead account. Clear? Now, instead of overhead account having 2 lakh balance, now I have transferred to whom? Under absorption. So, what is the entry for that? Under absorption to overhead. Now, overhead account got closed. Overhead account got closed? Yes. Now under absorption is having 2 lakh debit balance. Now in that 80% is due to abnormal reason. What is the entry I will pass? Costing P&L account debit to under absorption. Or if you are not transferred overhead under absorption to over under absorption account, then you can credit what? Overhead account. But in the ICA material or suggested answers and all, they are using under absorption or over absorption only in the journal entry. So please use the same. Hope you understood. I repeat, guys. I repeat it. Sir, here credit is how much? 10. Here debit is how much? 12. So what is the net debit balance? 2 lakh. Where did we transfer it to? Under absorption. When I transfer, what is the entry? Under absorption to overhead. Now, where is the balance? Under absorption account. Overhead closed. Where is the balance? Under absorption. What balance? 2 lakh debit balance. How do I close it now? I have to transfer it to the respective account. If it is due to abnormal reason, where do I transfer it to? Costing P&L account to under absorption. Out of 2 lakh, 80% comes to 1.6 lakh. 1.6 lakh. See that amount column has to be separate, but just because I don't have space, I am writing it together. Don't mind. Okay, na? ಏನು ಮಾಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ 1.6 1.6 now due to normal reason how much is the balance 20%. 20%. So what should I do here? Sir, whatever cost you have charged is less than. Now you have to inflate it. You have to inflate it. What is the entry? Cost or cost of sales account debit to under absorption. How much? 40,000. 40,000. Understood? Understood? Yes. Now, guys, see this I have written as cost or cost of sales. It can be like closing stock, WAP. Those things also can come. For example, sir, out of the units I have produced 10,000 units, sir. Only 8,000 I have sold. Remaining 2,000 is what? Closing stock. So in that case, cost of sales will be for 8,000 units. Closing stock will be for how many units? 2,000 units. Is that clear? Sometimes WIP also will come, like partly finished goods. Okay, for that and all, we will see it step by step. We will proceed further. As of now, I have just taken cost or cost of sales. Cost of sales, assuming entire goods, whatever is produced is sold. Is sold. Hope you understood. Clear. Due to abnormal reasons, if there is any under absorption, what do you do? Costing P&L account. What is the entry, guys? Costing P&L to under absorption. Before this entry, under absorption had what balance? Debit balance. Now what are you doing? By closing, by giving a credit. Now how come under absorption had debit balance? Sir, because observed is less than incurred. When I have incurred, I have debited. When I have observed, I have credited over it. What I have observed is less than what I have incurred. That means debit balance is more. Debit balance is more. So under absorption will always have debit balance. You can either keep it as overhead only or transfer it to under absorption and then treat it as charge. How do you charge it? Did you guys get it? You want to take down this? If this is an example for under absorption, we'll also discuss over absorption. NR stands for normal reason, AR stands for abnormal reasons, guys. Under absorption is 2 lakh. How did we get that 2 lakh? You understood? 12 lakh minus 10 lakh. Absorption is less than incurred. Absorption is less than incurred, guys. Yeah. Now we shall proceed further. Guys, here one more thing. Please be careful. For this example, I have assumed whatever I have produced is sold. Clear? No, sir. What if there is a finished goods or what if there is a work in progress? Then even those things will come here. Okay, even in this entries, those things will come like closing stock, WIP and all. Yeah, those things we will learn as we proceed further. As of now, I have assumed entire units produced is sold. Is that clear? Yes. I just want to make you understand, sir, what is the treatment? Why are we debiting something? Why are we crediting something? What is the reason behind it? I just want you guys to understand that. Got it? Clear, guys. Actually, you have incurred a cost of how much? 12 lakh. But actually, you have recorded a cost of how much? 10 lakh. So your debit for a respective expenses is only 10 lakh. Now what should we do? Record another 2 lakh. So record another 2 lakh. Sir, how much due to normal reason? How much due to abnormal reason? Depending upon that, we will decide what? The debit part. The debit part. Got it? Huh? Okay, sure. Now I will reverse the scenario. Now I will reverse the scenario. Huh. Shh, silence. 15 lakh, let me take. Overhead absorbed how much? 15 lakh. Overhead incurred how much? 12 lakh. Over and under. Over absorption. Over absorption of how much? 3 lakh. 3 lakh. Sir, how did you get it? 15 lakh minus 12 lakh. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Listen. Overhead incurred. What is the entry? Incurred account, overhead account debit to cash or bank. How much you have passed for? 12. Whereas observed, as and when I produce and sell the units, I would have observed it. How much totally I have observed? 15 lakh. What is the entry each and every time I observe? Cost of sales account or cost account debit to overhead account. How much, sir? 15 lakh. So what is the net balance? 12 lakh debit, 15 lakh credit. What is the net balance? 3 lakh. What balance? Credit balance. Credit balance. You can keep it as overhead credit balance 3 lakh or else transfer it to over absorption. Transfer it to over absorption. What is the entry, sir? Now overhead is having what balance? Credit balance. How do you close it? Overhead account debit to over absorption account. Overhead account debit to over absorption. Now over absorption is having 3 lakh. Overhead account got cancelled? Yes, went out. Overhead absorption is having what balance, guys? Credit balance. Let me write that also. Credit balance. For previous case, you can mention debit balance. Okay. 2 lakh was there, na? Just mention in the bracket. Debit balance. Okay, sir. I am having a credit balance. Sir, how do I treat it now? Guys, you know that if it is having credit balance, how do you close it? By debiting. What to credit, sir? What to credit? For sure, we know that over absorption has to be debited to close. What to credit? Depends on why there was over absorption. Why there was over absorption. If over absorption is due to abnormal reasons, then we have to send it to what? Cost in P&L account. You already observed more cost. You already observed more cost. So cost in P&L should be debited or credited? Credited. You already recorded more cost, sir. Now give reverse effect. Reverse effect, how do you do it? Give credit. Give credit. So what is the entry? Just a minute. What is the entry? Over absorption account debit to over absorption account debit to costing P&L account. 80% I am considering due to abnormal reasons, guys. So 3 lakh into 80% comes to 40,000. 2.4 lakh. 2.4 lakh. Did you guys get it? Yes. Now, over absorption 2.44 got cancelled. Remaining is how much? 60,000. That is due to what? Normal reason. Now, normal reason means, already I have charged more cost. Sir. Now, what should I do? Give reverse effect. You have to give reverse effect means, should you debit the cost or credit the cost? Credit the cost. Debit what? Over absorption. Why is that? Because over absorption had a credit balance. Now I want to close it. How will I close it? Any account which is having credit balance, if I have to close it, what should I do? Debit. What is the entry? Over absorption account debit. Cost or cost of sales account. How much it comes to? 60,000. 60,000. Clear? Guys, that's understood. Is there any hard and fast rule you have to remember like debit balance, credit balance? No, go by logic. Clear? Incurred, observed. Just try to recollect. Guys, it is very similar to your accounts. Clear? You will pass expense entry, that is like incurred. You will transfer it to P&L account, you will transfer at the end of the year to P&L account, that is similar to observed. That is similar to observed, guys. Is it clear? Don't use P&L account and all. I'm just telling you because here we are not transferring for absorption. We are not straight away transferring it to P&L account. We are charging it to what? Either cost of sales or cost. Or if there is a closing stock, for closing stock. Or if there is a WIP, work in progress. Is that clear? Yes. Accordingly, the respective accounts will have debit balance like cost of sales and all. Clear? That balance we will transfer it to the P&L account. Actually, is that clear? Yes. Hope you understood the reason, logic behind why I told debit balance, why I told credit balance. Now take down this part. Take down this. Yeah, we shall proceed further. Come back to concepts. Treatment of under or over absorption of overheads in cost accounting. The under absorption or over absorption of overheads will be analyzed, and the amount of under or over absorption is small, or if it is due to effect of entity, wrong estimation and abnormal reasons, it will be considered as abnormal, and it will be charged to what? Costing, profit and loss account, guys. If it is under absorption, what is the entry? Costing, profit and loss to under absorption. If it is over absorption, what is the entry? Over absorption to costing, profit and loss account. Next, if the under or over absorption is due to normal reason, which is uncontrollable, it will be charged over. See guys, even if it is uncontrollable, but of small value, sir, 5,000, maybe 2,000 or 500, something like that. Okay, what is small, what is big depends on the size of the company. Clear, materiality we call it as. Clear, 500 is big for me, not for Mukesh Ambani. Correct, if you drop 500 rupees note, you don't even mind picking up. Correct, no? So what is material for me may not be material for others. It is always subjective. Clear? Yes, because you may touch for 2,000, you told small amount. That eyebrows may raise. Clear? So that is why I'm just giving a clarity. Assume guys 500 rupees. But it is due to uncontrollable reason. As the amount is small, you can charge it to costing P&L. Clear? Yes. Okay. If the under or over absorption is due to normal reason, that is uncontrollable, it will be charged over the product by applying what? An additional or supplementary rate. This, guys, might be MCQ question. We will charge it to the cost by applying what rate? Supplementary or additional rate. This rate is determined by dividing the amount of under absorption or over absorption by the pace that was adopted for absorption. Pace means normally units it will, guys. Here it would be units. Supplementary overhead rate as calculated above is applied to what and all? Finished goods, semi-finished goods if any, that is WAP, and goods sold. Therefore, under or over absorption of overheads are distributed among the unsold stock of finished goods, semi-finished goods, and cost of sales. Guys, listen here. What is the journal entry? First we'll see, then I will also explain. In case of under absorption, what is the entry? Stock of finished goods, stock of semi-finished goods, cost of sales to under absorption. Because under absorption will already have debit balance. How will I close it now? Debit the respective accounts and credit under absorption. Sir, why are you debiting these three accounts? Because I already debited but less amount for them. So now I am giving the remaining. Now I am giving the remaining. Then in case of over absorption, what is the entry? Over absorption 2. Sir, I have already charged more for all these three, sir. I already debited more. So now how will I cancel it out? By giving a credit. So over absorption 2. Stock of finished goods. Stock of semi-finished goods. Cost of sales. Clear? Either of the two will come, guys, not both. Either under absorption or over absorption. Is that clear? Yes. Listen here. Listen here. Now, this is for what? Stock of finished goods. Means finished goods. Closing stock of finished goods. For that. Clear? Then stock of semi-finished goods. That is WAP. Partly finished goods. Guys, stock normally will have debit balance. Inventory will have normally what balance? Debit balance. You will show it as an asset in the balance sheet, right? Yes, sir. Now, when it is already over debited, it's already over debited. You will cancel that over. How? By giving a credit. You already debited it, but excess. So how will you remove that excess part? By giving a credit. Or else, sir, I have already debited, but less amount, sir. There is an under absorption. I already debited, but less amount, sir. Now I should give little more. Clear? How is it, sir? By debiting. By debiting. Now for cost of goods which is sold, the units sold, that is finished goods, I would have charged the expenses for which account? Cost of sales account. That is the final sales. Clear? Cost of sales, or sometimes they may use the word cost of goods sold also. What is the exact difference and all between cost of goods sold, cost of sales? We will understand in the cost sheet chapter. There is a difference between both. But sometimes, for your exam, for this chapter, they may interchangeably use cost of sales or cost of goods sold. You don't worry much for this chapter. If nothing is given, take it as cost of sales. If they have only given cost of goods sold, then take it. Clear? Yes, but I suggest cost of sales. Go with that. If only question specify something else, take it. Okay. For the unit sold, you would have already debited cost of sales. Yes, sir. But I have given less debit, sir. Now what will I do? For whatever less, I have to give a debit again. I have to give a debit again. No, sir. I have already given excess debit, sir. How will I remove that excess? By giving a credit. By giving a credit. Hope you understood. So this three accounts, what it stands for, you understood. Stock of finished goods means what? Closing stock of finished goods, which is produced but not sold. Stock of semi-finished goods, what means? Means what? Sir, not completely produced goods. Obviously, I cannot sell it in the market. Yes. Here completion percentage is how much? Less than 100%. But still, assume it is 80% complete. Still, I would have incurred some cost to produce 80% now. Okay, should I record it? Yes, sir. Next year, maybe I will complete and sell it. Yeah, yes. Then cost of sales stands for what? Units sold. Units sold, guys. Okay. Now, coming to, sir, what is the journal entry for this uh, due to costing P&L account, that is due to abnormal reasons, or if it is a small, what is the entry, sir? We already discussed. If you want, you can write down here also. The other side there is empty, na? For under absorption, guys. In case of under absorption, what is the entry? Costing P&L account. Two. What? Under absorption. This is for under absorption. Next, coming to over absorption. Over absorption. What is the entry, sir? Over absorption account debit to costing P&L account. Costing P&L account. To costing P&L account. Did you guys get it? See, every question they may not ask journal entry, but if they ask, I am making you ready from all the point of view. Sometimes assume it is an MCQ, or even if it is a descriptive, they may just ask you to compute what is the amount of under absorption. What is the amount of over absorption? That's all. Stop it there. Or else they next they may also ask treatment of it. If it is a treatment, then you have to analyze first how much is due to normal reason, how much is due to abnormal reason. So how will I analyze? They will only give it in the question. Okay, they will only give the clue or hint in the question. Accordingly decide how much is due to normal reason, how much is due to abnormal reason. Guys, listen here. Now, assume under absorption is totally. I'm just taking one example to explain you guys. Under absorption is totally. Under absorption is totally 1 lakh. In that, due to normal reasons is, assume 60% or 75% only I will take, 75,000. Due to abnormal reasons, how much? 25,000. So 25,000 anyway I will send it to costing P&L account. No doubt in that, sir. Okay, no confusion in that, sir. Now what do I do with 75,000? I have to calculate something called as supplementary rate. Supplementary rate. Sir, how do I calculate? Guys, listen here. Listen here. Assuming the overhead is observed based on each and every unit produced, we need to calculate equivalent units. We need to calculate what? Huh? Equivalent units. Yes, sir. Now, how do we calculate? Assume, guys, the goods produced, that is finished goods produced, okay, is 10,000 units. 10,000 units. In that, sold is, assume 8,000. Closing stock is 2,000. Closing stock is 2,000. Okay, sir. Now, both are 100% complete? Yes. But I have found customers only for 8,000 units. Remaining 2,000 is the closing stock of finished goods, sir. Finished goods. Now coming to WIP. Assume, guys, 5,000 units is WIP. WIP, which is 60% complete. Which is 60% complete. Means 60% work is done? Yes. Obviously, this units I cannot sell it in the market. Now, if I ask you, what is equivalent units? It would be how much, guys? 10,000 units, 100% complete? Yes, as it is, we have to take. Whereas WAP is completed how much? Only 6,000. So, equivalent units for this will be how much? 3,000. 5,000 into completion percentage of work done. How much is that? 5,000 into 60% comes to 3,000. So total equivalent units now how much? 13,000. Okay now guys. Total equivalent units how much? 13,000. How did you get it, sir? 10,000 plus 3,000. 10,000 100% complete. So I will take as it is. Whereas 5,000 was only 60% complete. If 100% work would have been done, how many units would have been completed? 3,000. Did we do 100% work? No. If I had done 100% work, how many units would have been done completely? I am calculating 3,000. Now, what is the equivalent units? 13,000, guys. Now, using this supplementary rate, I will calculate. Sir, what is supplementary rate, sir? Under absorption due to normal reason. How much? 75,000. 75,000 divided by total equivalent units 13,000, which will give me 5.77. What do we call this as? Supplementary rate. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Hope you are understanding. Now, you may ask me, sir, why did you take that equivalent units in the base? Guys, you can ask me, sir, why didn't you take 15,000? Why 13,000? Guys, base should be common. Base should be common. Now, for this 10,000 units, 100% work is done. If I just straight away add 5,000 for that and take it as a denominator, is 10,000, 5,000 equivalent? No. 10,000 is 100% done, whereas 5,000 is only 60% done. Now, if you take 5.77 for 15,000 units, assume, sir, is it correct, sir? No. Because out of that, 10,000 is fully done, 5,000 is partly done. Clear? So what did I do for that means to keep the common base with respect to 100% work done. I converted 5,000 if 100% work was done. How many units I would have completed? I have not done. Only for calculation purpose. If 100% work would have been done, how much units I would have completed? How much it comes to? 3,000. Now can I take it as a base? Yes. Because guys, 3,000 is it directly comparable with 10,000 now? Yes. But is 5,000 directly comparable with 10,000? No. Because the percentage of work is different. Percentage of work is different. Hope you guys got it. Now 5.77. What will I do? I will pass this entry now. I will pass this entry. Come on. What is the entry? Stock of finished goods. What is the units? Finished good 2000. 2000 into 5.77 account debit. Stock of semi-finished goods. How much is that? 3,000. I will write here. 3,000 into 5.77. Sir, 5,000. No, sir. No. This cost is per equivalent unit. When I am multiplying, I should multiply with what? Equivalent units, guys. Don't multiply with 5,000. That will be wrong. See, in the books, for books, actually WAP is how much? 5,000 units only. But for calculation, I have taken it to be how much? 3,000. So can I tell 5.77 is a cost per equivalent unit which is 100% complete? Yes. So from WAP point of view, how many units are like 100% complete? 3,000. So 3,000 into 5.77. Then coming to cost of sales, how many units I have sold, sir? 8,000. 8,000 into 5.77. 5.77, guys. All of this will be debit to under absorption how much? Under absorption how much? 75,000. 75,000. Did you guys understand? 75,000. Hope you guys understood. I repeat, listen here. Sir, goods produced is totally 10,000. Out of that, how much is sold? 8,000. For whatever sold, we would have debited which account? Cost of sales. But I have debited less, sir. I have debited less due to what? Under absorption. Next, closing stock also. Closing stock of finished goods will have what balance? Debit balance. Because I would have debited it. But I have debited less of. Okay. Is this completely done? 100% work done? Yes. Coming to WAP, semi-finished goods. Only 60% work is done. Now, if I want to calculate cost per unit, I cannot take entire 5,000 units. Why, sir? Because 5,000 is not 100% done. When I have to compare that with 10,000 units, which is 100% complete, now I need to convert. If 5,000 units is 100% complete, how many units it would have been? It would have been. How much is that? 5,000 into 60% comes to 3,000. 3,000. Okay, sir. Now this 3,000 can I use as a base? Yes. Add 3,000 to 10,000. What is the total number of equivalent units? 13,000. Divided. 75,000 divided by 13,000. What is the supplementary rate or additional rate you got? 5.77. Now all these accounts are already debited, but you have debited less. Now give that less amount as debit. What is it, sir? Stock of finished goods, 2000 units. Sir, where is that 2000, sir? This part. Into for each unit, what is the equivalent cost? 5.77. Next, sold. Cost of sales would be debited. Sir, what is the units? 8000 into rupees is 5.77. 5.77. All these are we debiting newly? No, no, it's already debited, but debited less. Now we are taking care of that due to under absorption. Then WIP. Sir, WIP is also closing asset inventory. Yes, but this is, guys, this is finished goods. This is semi-finished goods. Okay, na? Yes. Both are closing stock, sir. Yes, both are part of closing stock only. Now even this would have already been debited. Yes, but less debit. How will I rectify it now? Debit the balance. How is it, sir? What is the equivalent units for this? 3000 into what is the cost per equivalent unit? 5.77. Take that and debit it. Take that and debit. Hope you understood. Clear? Guys, even if it is over absorption, same to same calculation till here. Same to same calculation till here. Whatever is the over absorption due to abnormal reasons, sorry, due to normal reasons, calculate like this. But instead of debiting here, you will credit all these accounts. Calculation same, sir? Yes. Calculation same to same, copy paste. Only debit will now become credit. Clear? And under absorption, I used to credit here, but here I have to debit over absorption. Okay. Got it? Good. That's all about under absorption and over absorption. So if you want me to give one more example, I have taken it here. Listen here. Guys, I'm just brushing up. It is like again quick recovery. Very small topic, but little confusing. Little confusing. So let me give a final touch for it. Let me give a final touch, guys. Now, company have decided a predetermined overhead rate at the beginning of the year. Assume this is the beginning of the year. How much? 5 rupees per unit. Now, throughout the year, they have produced 1 lakh units. So that is like a timeline what I have drawn there. So by the end of the year, guys, they got to know their total actual output is how much? 1 lakh units. Now, what is the total overhead they have observed? 5 lakh. How did you get it, sir? 1 lakh units produced into rupees. Fine. Fine. Now at the end of the year, they also got to know their actual overhead is 6 lakh or 4 lakh 50. Anyone, not both simultaneous. Assume, let me take 6 lakh. They got to know 6 lakh. How much they have observed, guys? Only 5 lakh. But how much they actually incurred? 6 lakh. There is under absorption of how much? 1 lakh. Assume due to abnormal reason 60%. So how much is that? 60,000. What is the entry for it? Costing paid L2 under absorption. How much? 60,000 each. 60,000 each. Remaining how much, sir? Normal reason. How much is that? 40%. 40%. According to the units, here I have just taken different units. Don't go by that because actual output is 1 lakh units. Let me not mention this part. Yeah. So based on, anyway, I have already covered that and all. Sir, based on how many units I have produced, how many units I have sold, how many units are in WIP, I need to decide the treatment of this. It comes to how much, sir? 40,000. 40,000. Clear? We need to calculate equivalent units. Guys, for units produced, sold. Units produced but staying in closing stock, 100% it will be. Whereas only for WIP, you have to apply WIP units into work completed. Work completed. You will get what? Equivalent units. Let me take like this. Sir, let me just give an example, guys. Assume 1 lakh is completely produced, sir. Completely produced, sir. 100%. In this, 80,000 is sold and 20,000 is closing stock, sir. Okay, sir. Another 10,000 units is there, sir. For that, only 10% work is done, sir. Only 10% work is done, sir. How much is the equivalent unit? 1,000. So what is the total equivalent units, guys? 1 lakh, 1,000. 1 lakh, 1,000. Did you guide? So what is the supplementary rate now? 40,000 divided by 1 lakh, 1,000. 1 lakh, 1,000. Now, guys, how much you will get? 0.40. 0.40. Now listen, now listen. Any doubt? Now, 0.40 is a supplementary rate we got. How much we will charge to cost of sales? 0.40 into 80,000 units. How much we will charge it to closing stock of finished goods? 0.40 into 20,000 units. How much we will charge it to closing stock of WAP? 0.40 into 1,000. 1,000. Hope you guys got it. Clear? Yes. Now, sir, what about over absorption? Let me come to that situation. Both cannot happen simultaneously, any one. Huh? Now, assume guys, actual overhead incurred is 4 lakh 50. But how much we have observed? 5 lakh. Forget about under absorption. Don't get confused with both. Okay, we are done with under. Now we are going to over. Sir, actual overhead was 4 lakh 50, sir. But how much we have absorbed, sir? 5 lakh. What is the over absorption, sir? 50,000. Here also you found out. Sir, due to abnormal reason, how much? Assume 60%. Assume 60%. It comes to how much, guys? 30,000. Yeah, it comes to 30,000. What do you do with this? Entry, we will transfer it to costing P&L account. Nitin, where do you transfer it to? What is the entry? What is the entry? Debit. Costing P&L you debit. Over absorption account debit to costing P&L account. Over absorption to costing P&L account. Okay, sir. Now, what if it is over absorption due to normal reason? Same way you have to find out the supplementary rate. Then using that supplementary rate, what is the entry you will pass? Over absorption to cost of finished goods, cost of, that is cost of finished goods means cost of goods sold, assume cost of sales account, then closing stock of finished goods, closing stock of WAP. Did you guys get it? Yes, guys. So actually, this both put together is actually nothing but closing stock only. This two is nothing but closing stock only. But normally, even in the books, we will show separately finished goods stock, WAP stock. Clear? In the entry also, should I show it separately, sir? Yes, guys. Got it? Huh? Yes. Now let us do one question on this. Important, guys, because in the exam also now and then they're asking this. So that is why I have taken good amount of time explained with examples repeatedly. Hope you have understood the topic. Come to the question bank. Question bank. Bank. Page number. Someone tell I have not put it here. 22. Gaganashri, ready? The total overhead expenses of a factory is 4,46,380. Guys, what is this? Actual or observed? Actual. Actual. Taking into account the normal working of the factory, overhead was recovered in a production at 1.25 per hour. Okay, they have given per hour here. So for each and every hour they work, what is the overhead they are observing? 1.25. Guys, what will be the base now? Output or hours? Hours. Good. The actual hours worked were 2,93,104. Guys, if I ask you how much overhead is observed, how much is that? For each hour, you are observing 1.25. How many hours you have worked? 2,93,104. How much is observed? 3,66,380. What is this called as? Overhead. Don't write anything. I will solve it. First, let me explain, read the question, and then I will solve. Don't worry. No urgency. What is the overhead observed, guys? What is overhead incurred? 4,46,000. Less the over. Under or over? Under absorption. Under absorption. There only we got it. Assume it is an asked as MCQ. What is the amount of under absorption? Answer. Taka. 446. 380 minus 366. 380. That's all. Game over. Sir, can it be asked as MCQ? Yes. State how would you proceed to close the books of accounts, assuming that besides 7,800 units produced, of which 7,000 units were sold, there were 200 equivalent units in work in progress. Okay. Okay, let us analyze. 7,000 units produced, of which 7,000 were sold. That means closing stock of finished goods is how much? 800. There were 200 equivalent units in work in progress. Guys, they only given equivalent. You don't do anything. Have they given what is the actual WAP units? No. I don't know. Percentage completion also I don't know. They straight away given equivalent. Take it. Now, what is the total number of equivalent units? 7,800 plus 200. Comes to 8,000. Good. On investigation, it was found that 50% of the unobserved overhead was on account of increase in the cost of indirect material and indirect labor. What is it? Normal. Beyond our control. Okay. And remaining 50% was due to factory inefficiency. Abnormal. Good. Chalo, guys, listen here. First listen, you guys can take down. Calculation of under or over absorption comes to how much? Actual factory overhead incurred 4,46,000. Now, overhead observed 2,93,110 hours is the hours work. For each and every hour we work, we are recovering 1.25, which comes to 66,380. Difference 80,000. Under or over? Under. We have observed lesser. We have observed less than what we have incurred. Okay. Treatment of unobserved or underobserved. One and the same. Unobserved or underobserved. Overhead in cost accounting. Out of 80,000, 50% is due to normal, 50% is due to abnormal. Okay. Unobserved overhead amounting to 40,000, which were due to increase in the cost of indirect material and labor, should be charged to what? Units produced by using supplementary rate. Guys, write the dialogues like this. Don't straight away start the calculation. Okay, so this has to be charged to the cost by using supplementary rate. Now, so how do you calculate supplementary rate? 40,000 divided by 8,000. Sir, how did I get 8,000? 7,800 plus 200. Sir, why didn't you add 7,000? Hey, 7,000 is part of 7,800 only. Correct, Mohan? 7,000 units are produced fully. Sorry, 7,800 units are produced fully. In that, how much is sold? 7,000. Remaining 800 is what, guys? Closing stock of finished goods. So that 200 is equivalent units straight away. Equivalent units. Okay, so. So I'm taking 8,000. If you want, you can also show 7,800 plus 200. Okay. So 5 rupees per unit. The sum of 40,000 unobserved overhead should be distributed by using a supplementary rate among the cost of sales, finished goods and work in progress. What is the amounts? Stock of finished goods is 800 units. Yes. 7,800 produced but sold is 7,000. So 800 is closing stock. 8,000, sorry, 800 into 5. 4? Okay. Okay, sir. Work in progress. They only given equivalent. Straight away take it. 200 into 5. Guys, please be careful. While multiplying, take equivalent units. Why, sir? Because cost, what I would have got is cost per equivalent units. Now you will not get confused. If they have given actual WAP units also, you will be confused. Should I take actual WAP units or should I take equivalent units? What should you take? Equivalent units. Because cost, what we have got is cost for equivalent units, guys. Okay, so. How much is that? 1,000. Then cost of sales. How many units we have sold? 7,000. Are we already debited cost of sales? Yes, but we have given less debit. We have given less debit. So now I have to give that difference. What is it? 7,000 into 5 comes to 35,000. Total is 40. Matching, yes. They have not asked journal entry and all. If they ask, you can pass that also. What is the entry, guys? For this stock of finished goods, debit 4,000. Work in progress or the stock of work in progress, like that, 1,000. Cost of sales account debit 35,000. To under absorption 40,000. Journal entry. If they ask, you can pass it. Illa, sir, they have not asked. But still, instead of doing this, can I straight away pass journal entry and show the calculation there only? That is also fine. That is also fine, guys. Okay. Next. The use of cost of sales figure would reduce the profit for the period. This is only for your understanding. In the exam, it is not mandatory to write this note. Okay. Now, cost of sales, guys, already would have been sent to costing P&L account. Yes, because of that profit. Hey, because of this, my profit would have come down. Yes. Again, one more debit I am giving. So profit will further come down now. Yes. The use of cost of sales figure would reduce the profit for the period by 35,000 and will increase the value of stock of finished goods and work in progress by how much? By 4,000 and 1,000. Because all the valuation would have already been done, guys. Even profit would have already been calculated. Yes. Now at the end of the year, I got to know, oh, this is the under absorption. Now my profit will further go down by how much? 14,000. Sorry, 35,000. Clear. Whereas my value of closing stock of finished goods and WIP would have already been valued. Yes, it will be having debit balance. Now I am giving further debit. So the value of closing stock, will it increase now? Yes, it will increase. And one thing you should know, closing stock of finished goods and the closing stock of WIP, you will show it on the credit side of trading account. Clear up, due to which profit will increase. Profit will increase. So how come profit will increase here, guys? Because I have incurred this cost this year, but have I sold it? Have I generated the revenue? No. So that is why we normally give a credit to closing stock. You know the logic why we give credit to closing stock? Huh? ಎಲ್ಲಾನು blind. Sir, ಏನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಿ sir? One more sir. Listen. Guys, assume this is my trading account or P&L account. I have debited expenses 20 lakh. 20 lakh. Sir, out of this, I have produced 10,000 units, sir. 10,000 units. But I have sold only 8,000 units, sir. Remaining 2,000 is closing stock, sir. Sold is 8,000. Guys, I have incurred 10 lakh expenses, as in production cost, whatever it is, 20 lakh. Only for 8,000 units or 10 lakh thousand? 10,000 units. 10,000 units. Agree with me? Yes. But I have sold how many units in the current year? 8,000 units. So this has, how many units have helped me to generate revenue in the current year? 8,000. 2,000 has generated any revenue to me? No. When will I sell it? Next year. I couldn't sell it this year. Maybe I have not found the customer. Product was ready. Customer was not ready to buy. Clear? Yes. So now, as per matching concept, what is matching concept telling? Please debit the expenses only which has helped you to generate revenue in the current year. Clear? Yes. Now guys, I will give a credit of sales. Sales will be for how many units? Only 8,000 units. Yes. That means even cost should be only for 8,000 units. It should be for 8,000 units. Correct? Matching concept demands that. Means matching andre cost is revenue match madadalla for the period. Sir, now sales is for 8,000 units. So you have to record the expenses also only for 8,000 units. Whatever is the amount. But I have already recorded for how much? 10,000 units. Now I will calculate out of this 20 lakh. How much is for 2,000 units? How much for 2,000 units? You know, inventory will be valued at cost. Clear? I have incurred this cost. Yes. Assume guys, let me take like normal concept. So 20 lakh is for 10,000. How much is for 2,000? Do it. 20 lakh is for 10,000. How much is for 2,000? 4 lakh, sir. 4 lakh. Guys, listen. Hope you are understanding the logic. See, all these are very basic. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಸರ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ರು ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದ್ರು ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಕೇಳೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ನಾವು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ. ಲಿಸನ್. I had debited already 20 lakh. Is this the expenses incurred in the current year? Yes. But is the entire 20 lakh has given me benefit in the current year? No. Only to the extent of 16 lakh. I have made a sales of 8,000 units. For 8,000 units, what is the cost? 16 lakh. Remaining 4 lakh. Unnecessary expenditure I have recorded? Yes. Why, sir? Because it has not helped me to generate revenue in the current year. Should I record it as current year expenditure? No. So what should you do? Remove it. Remove and hogi debit na cancel ಮಾಡಿ, not removing it. What should you do? Give credit. Give credit. Now what is the net debit? 16 lakh. We call it as COGS and NPV 16 lakh. So now what is the cost of goods sold? 16 lakh. Assume guys, I have sold the goods for 25 lakh. So 25 minus 16. 25 minus 16. Bidi. Don't strain. 9 lakh. This is a profit I have made. Clear na? So, logic behind giving credit of closing stock is, sir, whatever expenses I have incurred in the current year and I have debited, it will also include for closing stock, sir. But closing stock I have not sold. That means it has not helped me to generate any revenue in the current year. So, as per matching concept, I should not give a debit of this. It should not be included in the current year cost, sir. Now, how will I remove it, sir? Will I go and scratch the expenses and record again? No. Give equivalent debit on the credit. Equivalent cost, whatever is there for closing stock, give a credit. Give a credit so that it get cancelled. So 20 lakh total expenses I debited. 4 lakh I gave a credit. What is the net debit? 16 lakh. That is for what? Units sold. We give a term for it. Cost of goods sold. Agree. So net debit is 16 lakh. Sales is 25 lakh. That means 16 lakh worth of goods is sold for 25 lakh. What is my profit? 9 lakh. 9 lakh. And if you leave this, no sir, I don't do this, then it will be like you have sold only 8,000 units. Revenue on the credit side is only for 8,000 units, but debit is for 10,000 units. But debit is for 10,000 units, which is a wrong treatment. Is that clear? Yes, sir. Hope you guys already know. Closing stock will be valued at what? Inventory will be valued as per accounting standard in days at cost. Or else we have lower of cost or net realizable value, but cost only will always be lower, guys. It is understood. Clear? Because sale value is always considered to be more. Sir, what if by chance sale value? Assume the cost of this closing stock was 4 lakh, but sale value is 3 lakh. I will value the inventory at what? 3 lakh. Because I am recognizing 1 lakh loss now only. Conservatism concept. Tell. Did I sell this closing stock now? No. But what is the stock cost of it? 4 lakh. If I sell it today, what is the sale value? 3 lakh. So I am recording at 3 lakh. That means indirectly, did I record a loss of 1 lakh? Yes. Debit 4 lakh. Credit 3 lakh. Automatically I recognize a loss of 1 lakh. Conservatism concept provides for it. Okay, or prudence concept. Clear. You can, even though you have not sold the inventory, if you are expecting it to sell it to a loss, can I record that loss today only? Yes. But, sir, this another first you recorded 4 lakh, no, sir. Now, assuming next year I will sell this 2000 units for 10 lakh, can I record my sales as 35 lakh? No. I will sell, sir, next year 2000 units for another 10 lakh. So I will record it as 35 lakh. No. Conservatism concept again is against it. Record only anticipated loss but not anticipated gains. Clear? Because if that is the case, everyone will start inflating their sales and profit and show more profit, more sales. If share price shoots up, sell and abscond. Share. That is what. If you leave like that for the management, everything they will shoot up. Overstate profit, overstate sales, share price also. Oh, your company has grown like this. Share price will grow. Now these guys know it is full manipulated and that. Tomorrow when the price is at high, they will sell and abscond. Other people, public at large will be at a risk. Okay, leave. Too much I have told, but still good for your knowledge. Good for your knowledge. ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ವಿ ನಾವು Sadhya. Thank God you didn't tell, sir, in the class. Seriously, some students will tell that also. Fine. For normal, we are done with. Abnormal, how much, guys? The balance amount of unabsorbed overheads 40,000 due to factory inefficiency should be debited to costing, profit, and loss account. As this is a abnormal loss. What is the entry for it? Costing P&L account debit to under absorption 40,000. Check down. This is not required. Anyway, we are showing it in the answer. Yeah, just a minute. Yes, students. This is the first part of the answer. Then the second part comes to be. Journal entry, if they have asked, it is mandatory for you to pass. If they have not asked, it is your choice. It is your choice. You can just write 40,000 will be debited to costing P&L account or show it by way of journal entry also. Okay? Yes. Chalo. Yeah. So this is about the under absorption or over absorption. Guys, here as I told you, you can also pass journal entry. Like you can debit all this with the respective amounts to under absorption 40,000. We have some more questions which I will cover it under additional questions and also from ICA question later. Guys. Clear? Yes. So this is all about under absorption or over absorption of overheads, guys.